Welcome, travelers of the Dragon Ball Z universe, to a journey through the mysteries and theories that have lingered in the minds of fans for decades. What is it about this saga? The roaring battles, the transformations glowing with golden light, or the endless pursuit of power that keeps us coming back? Perhaps it's something deeper. Something hidden beneath the surface of Goku's boundless optimism and Vegeta's unyielding pride. Tonight, we're diving into the most fascinating Dragon Ball Z theories, ideas that stretch the boundaries of what we know, challenge the story we've been told, and invite us to dream. Whether you're here to unwind, to drift off into sleep, or to ponder the fates of saiyans and earthlings alike, settle in. Let's explore the what-ifs and maybes of this timeless tale, starting with a theory that reshapes the very heart of the series. Theory 1. Gohan was meant to be the true hero. Picture this: a young boy, half Saiyan, half human, standing alone against a force of unimaginable evil. His power surges, his hair turns gold, and for a moment, the fate of the world rests on his shoulders. This is Gohan, Goku's son, the gentle scholar with a warrior's spirit. Many fans believe that Gohan was meant to be the true hero of Dragon Ball Z, not just a temporary savior during the Cell Saga, but the destined successor to his father's legacy. Let's drift into this idea slowly, like clouds moving across a quiet sky. When we first meet Gohan, he's a child, timid, unsure, crying for his father, as Piccolo drags him into the wilderness to train. But even then, there's a spark. His hidden power bursts forth when he's pushed to the edge, a raw, untamed strength that even Goku can't match in those early days. Think back to the Saiyan saga. Gohan's rage against Raditz, his headbutt that cracks the armor of a warrior, far beyond his years. It's a glimpse of something extraordinary, a hint that this boy might carry a destiny greater than anyone realizes. As the story unfolds, Gohan's potential keeps shining through. On Namek, he faces Frieza's forces with a courage that surprises even Vegeta. And then, in the Cell Saga, it all comes together. Gohan ascends to Super Saiyan 2, a transformation born not just from training, but from emotion, from the pain of watching his friends fall. When he defeats Cell, it's not with Goku's carefree grin or Vegeta's calculated fury. It's with a quiet resolve, a protector's heart. For that moment, Gohan is the strongest warrior in the universe. And fans have long wondered, was this Akira Toriyama's plan all along? Was Gohan meant to take the torch from his father and lead the Z fighters into the future? There's evidence to support this. Goku himself steps aside during the Cell Games, trusting Gohan to finish the fight. He sees something in his son, a power and a purity that he believes can surpass him. Even after Goku returns from the dead, there's a sense that Gohan's moment was meant to last. But then, the Buu saga shifts the focus back to Goku and Vegeta, and Gohan fades into the background, a scholar again, not a warrior. Some say this was a change in direction, that Toriyama bowed to fan demand for Goku's return. Others argue it's a tragedy woven into the story. Gohan's potential was real, but his heart wasn't in fighting. He was a hero not by choice, but by necessity. Close your eyes and imagine it. A Dragon Ball Z where Gohan rises again and again, not just against Cell, but against Buu, Beerus, and beyond. A timeline where his quiet strength defines the series. It's a soothing thought, isn't it? A world where the gentle soul prevails. Whether Toriyama intended it or not, Gohan's journey leaves us with a question to dream on. Was he always meant to be the true hero, waiting for a destiny that slipped away? Theory 2. Vegeta was meant to be the true Super Saiyan, prince with a fire in his soul that never fades. Vegeta, the proud warrior of a fallen race, stands as one of Dragon Ball Z's most complex figures. His journey from villain to hero is a slow burn, a redemption forged in battle and sacrifice. But there's a theory that lingers in the minds of fans. What if Vegeta was meant to be the true Super Saiyan, the one destined to embody the legend that echoes through Saiyan history? Let's drift into this idea, like a breeze across the plains of planet Vegeta, tracing his path through pride and pain. In the beginning, Vegeta is the pinnacle of Saiyan pride. He's the prince, the elite, the one who carries the weight of his people's legacy. When he arrives on Earth, he's a force of destruction, unmatched until Goku surpasses him with the power of Kaioken. But it's the Namek saga where the theory takes root. Vegeta speaks of the Super Saiyan legend with reverence, a tale passed down through generations, a warrior of unparalleled power, born once every 1,000 years. He believes it's his birthright, his destiny as the last true heir of the Saiyan royal line. When Goku becomes the first to transform against Frieza, there's a quiet heartbreak in Vegeta's eyes, a crack in his armor. Was that moment stolen from him? Or was it a sign of a greater plan? Vegeta's entire arc is about reclaiming his pride, proving he's more than a shadow to Goku. His training is relentless, his will unbreakable. Think of his time in the hyperbolic time chamber, pushing his body beyond its limits, or his battles against the androids, where he refuses to yield. When he finally achieves Super Saiyan, it's not just a power-up, it's a reclamation. He fights with a fury that Goku's carefree nature can't match, a raw intensity born from years of loss and struggle. And in the Buu saga, his sacrifice against Majin Buu is one of the series' most poignant moments. A prince laying down his life for a planet he once sought to conquer. A selfless act that echoes the nobility he always claimed. Could this have been the culmination of a different plan? One where Vegeta, not Goku, was the chosen one of Saiyan lore? There's a rhythm to this theory that feels right. Vegeta's lineage, his obsession with the Super Saiyan myth, his growth into a protector. It all points to a destiny that might have been his. Early in Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta's presence looms large. He's the foil to Goku, the dark mirror of Saiyan heritage. Some fans speculate that Toriyama initially intended Vegeta to take that mantle, only for Goku's popularity to shift the spotlight. After all, Vegeta's character evolves in ways Goku's doesn't. He learns humility, forms bonds, and finds purpose beyond power. Let's linger on that evolution. In the Cell saga, Vegeta's pride leads to mistakes, but it also fuels his comeback. Against Cell, he aids Gohan with a critical blast, a rare moment of teamwork. In Dragon Ball Super, his rivalry with Goku becomes a partnership, and his Super Saiyan blue form rivals the gods. He's not just a warrior, he's a king reclaiming his throne. Imagine a saga where Vegeta's pride leads not to rivalry, but to triumph. A Super Saiyan king rising from the ashes of his past, leading Earth's defenders with the strength of his ancestors. It's a calming vision, a story of redemption that flows like a river finding its course, winding through the trials of a prince who becomes more than he ever dreamed. Theory 3. Piccolo is the true guardian of Earth. Now, let's turn our attention to a warrior of a different kind, Piccolo, the Namekian, with a soul forged in fire and redemption. He begins as an enemy, born from the darkness of King Piccolo, yet he becomes one of Earth's staunchest defenders. There's a theory that Piccolo, not Goku, is the true guardian of Earth, a silent protector whose role outshines even the saiyans. Let's ease into this, like a leaf settling on still water, tracing his quiet strength through the years. From the moment Piccolo fuses with Kami, he's more than just a fighter. He's the embodiment of Namekian wisdom and Earth's divine legacy. Kami was the guardian of Earth, watching over it for centuries, a being of balance and foresight. When Piccolo merges with him, that mantle passes on, merging the dark and light of his soul into something greater. Unlike Goku, who often leaves Earth to train or chase stronger foes, Piccolo stays. He trains Gohan, faces Chell, stands against Buu, all without seeking glory. His presence is steady, unwavering, a rock in the storm that others lean on. Think of the Cell saga. While Goku rests, Piccolo fights Android 17 to a standstill, his power rivaling the machines built to destroy them all. He buys time, protects the innocent, and strategizes when others rush in. In the Buu saga, he's the teacher, guiding Goten and Trunks into fusion, preserving hope when the world crumbles. His sacrifice on Namek, shielding Goku from Frieza's wrath, is a quiet act of guardianship, a moment that speaks louder than any shout. The theory posits that Toriyama intended Piccolo to be Earth's true shield, a counterpoint to Goku's wandering spirit and Vegeta's pride. Even in Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo's role endures. He trains Gohan back to strength, nurtures Pon with a gentleness that belies his stern face, and stands ready when cosmic threats loom. He's not the loudest hero, but his actions ripple through the story, calm, deliberate, essential. Could he be the one Earth relies on when the Saiyans soar too high? His bond with Gohan, his fusion with Nail and Kami, it all paints a picture of a guardian rooted in duty, not destiny. Imagine it, Piccolo meditating atop a cliff, his cape fluttering in the breeze, ever watchful over a planet he once despised. It's a soothing image, a reminder that strength isn't always loud, that protection can be silent and steadfast. Perhaps he's the guardian Earth needed all along, a hero whose legacy flows beneath the surface, a Namekian heart beating for a world not his own. Theory 4. Frieza's final form wasn't his true power. Let's venture into the icy heart of one of Dragon Ball Z's greatest villains, Frieza, the tyrant who shaped the Saiyan saga. His transformations are iconic, each more terrifying than the last, culminating in his sleek, deadly final form. But what if that wasn't his true peak? What if Frieza held back, his real power locked away, waiting for a moment that never came? Let's drift through this theory, cool and smooth like a stream over stone, peeling back the layers of his chilling reign. On Namek, Frieza unveils his final form with confidence, dominating Vegeta, Piccolo, and even Goku, until the Super Saiyan emerges. He claims it's his ultimate state, but there's a hint of arrogance, a suggestion he's toying with his foes. His power escalates with each percentage he reveals, 50%, 70%, 100%. Yet he's still undone by Goku's transformation. Later in Dragon Ball Super, we see Golden Frieza, a form he achieves with mere months of training, surpassing even Super Saiyan Blue. If he could reach that level so quickly, what was possible back on Namek? The theory suggests that Frieza's final form was a fraction of his potential, restrained by his own hubris and lack of effort. Frieza never trained before his resurrection. His power was raw, innate, a gift of his alien biology, something he flaunted without refining. On Namek, he toys with his opponents, letting Vegeta dream of victory, mocking Goku's hope. But what if he'd pushed himself further? What if, beneath that polished exterior, there was a deeper well of strength he never tapped? Some fans believe his true power could have countered Super Saiyan, turning the tide on Namek. His defeat wasn't inevitable. It was a choice, born from underestimating the Saiyans he'd enslaved. Look at his family. King Cold, Cooler, each hints at a lineage of untapped might. Frieza's final form might have been a stepping stone, a shell hiding something vaster. In Dragon Ball Super, his rapid growth suggests he was always capable of more, held back only by pride. Imagine him on Namek, shedding that sleek form for something even deadlier. A fifth transformation, a nightmare beyond comprehension. It's a chilling thought. Frieza, even more unstoppable. A shadow lurking beyond what we saw, waiting for a challenge he never met. Picture it as you drift off. Frieza standing atop his ship, his aura pulsing with untapped might. A power too vast to unleash, too proud to refine. It's a quiet mystery, one that lingers in the spaces between battles, inviting us to wonder what might have been. A tyrant whose limits were never truly tested. Theory 5. The Dragon Balls are sentient. Now, let's turn to the heart of the series. The Dragon Balls themselves, 7 orbs glowing with an otherworldly light, granting wishes to those who gather them. We know they're tied to the power of Shenron and the Namekians, but what if they're more than tools? What if the Dragon Balls are sentient, subtly influencing the events of Dragon Ball Z? Let's float into this idea, gentle and slow, like a wish whispered into the night, exploring the whispers of their hidden will. From the start, the Dragon Balls seem to have a will of their own. They scatter across the world after each use, as if choosing where they'll rest, defying the hands that seek them. Shenron, summoned by their power, often speaks with a wisdom that hints at something deeper, an awareness beyond a mere summon. The theory suggests that the Dragon Balls aren't just objects. They're alive, connected to the universe's balance, guiding heroes and villains alike toward their fates. Could they be more than tools of the Namekians, more than a creation of Kami? Think of the Saiyan saga. The wish to revive Goku sets everything in motion, pulling him back from death to face Vegeta and Nappa. In the Cell saga, the Ball's power reshapes reality time and again, reviving the fallen, shifting timelines. Even in the Buu saga, their limits, bound by the strength of their creator, feel like a deliberate choice, a test of worthiness. Could they be nudging the Z fighters toward growth, ensuring the right wishes are made? On Namek, the Grand Elder's balls summon Porunga, a dragon with even greater insight, hinting at a consciousness tied to the orbs themselves. Some fans point to their origins, a mystic craft of the Namekians, a race steeped in spiritual power. The Dragon Balls glow with an energy that feels alive, responding to the hearts of those who hold them. When Bulma builds the radar, they resist easy capture, scattering to remote corners. When Goku and his friends use them, the wishes align with a greater good, almost too perfectly. Perhaps they're judges, silently weighing the world's fate, guiding it through chaos. Imagine the Dragon Balls glowing softly in the dark, whispering to one another across the cosmos, their light pulsing with intent. It's a calming thought, a universe where even the wishes we make are part of a greater plan, where the orbs watch over Earth with a quiet wisdom. Whether they're truly sentient or just tools of fate, they weave a thread of mystery through the saga. A gentle force shaping the battles and dreams of those who seek them. Theory 6. Bulma secretly shapes the universe's fate. Let's shift to a quieter figure now. Bulma, the brilliant inventor whose gadgets and grit keep the Z fighters alive. She's not a warrior, yet her presence is undeniable. There's a theory that Bulma secretly shapes the universe's fate, her intellect and choices steering the course of Dragon Ball Z more than any punch or ki blast. Let's ease into this, like a soft glow lighting the night, tracing her unseen hand through the years. Bulma's story begins with the Dragon Radar, a device that changes everything. Without it, Goku never finds the balls, never meets Piccolo, never trains Gohan. That single invention sets the saga in motion, a spark from a human mind that ignites a cosmic tale. In the android saga, her time machine saves the future, giving Trunks a chance to fight Cell, a ripple that rewrites history. Even in the Buu saga, her technology supports the team's efforts, from capsules to training gear. The theory argues that Bulma's not just a sidekick, she's the architect of the Z fighters' survival, a force as vital as any Saiyan. Her influence extends beyond Earth. On Namek, her courage keeps the group moving, braving danger with Vegeta and Krillin. She repairs ships, decodes alien tech, and holds her own against a galaxy of threats. In Dragon Ball Super, her friendship with Whis and Beerus alters cosmic events. She builds devices to appease gods, her wit earning their favor. She's not flashy, but her mind is a force of nature, solving problems the fighters can't. Some say Toriyama crafted her as the unsung hero, a human whose ingenuity outshines even Saiyan strength. Think of her role in key moments. Her capsule house shelters the team. Her inventions bridge gaps between worlds. Without her, Goku's journey stalls, Vegeta's redemption falters, Gohan's training fades. She's the thread that ties them together, a quiet constant amid the chaos. In the tournament of power, her absence is felt. Imagine what she could have built to tip the scales. Perhaps her greatest feat is her family. Trunks, a warrior born of her union with Vegeta, carries her brilliance into battle. Picture Bulma in her lab, tinkering late into the night, her work echoing across galaxies as she crafts solutions no one else can see. It's a peaceful image, a reminder that power isn't always loud, that a single idea can shift the stars. Whether she knows it or not, Bulma's quiet brilliance might just hold the universe together. A human heart guiding the fate of gods and Saiyans alike. Theory 7. The Saiyans were created by the Kais, now into the ancient origins of the Saiyans themselves. A race of warriors whose ferocity and boundless potential ripple through the stars like a tempest unleashed. Picture a distant world, planet Sadala perhaps, its rugged plains stretching beneath a crimson sky. where the first saiyans roared into existence, their tails lashing, their eyes glinting with an untamed hunger for conquest. They are beings of instinct and fury, their strength growing with every battle, their golden transformations a legend whispered across galaxies. But where did they come from? These warriors who defy the limits of mortality. A theory suggests that the Saiyans were not a natural evolution, but a deliberate creation of the Kais, divine overseers of the cosmos who shaped them for a purpose lost to the mists of time. Let's explore this idea, slow and steady, like stars forming in the vast silence of the void, peeling back the layers of their celestial birth to uncover a mystery woven into the fabric of the universe. The Kais stand as eternal guardians, their roles etched into the balance of creation and destruction. The Supreme Kai crafts life, nurturing worlds with a gentle hand, while Beerus, the god of destruction, raises excess to maintain harmony. Into this divine order come the Saiyans, too powerful, too chaotic to be mere chance, their existence a thunderclap against the quiet rhythm of the cosmos. The theory posits that they were engineered by the Kais as a weapon, a living force designed to combat a forgotten threat, an ancient evil that predated even Frieza's tyranny or the wrath of Majin Buu. Their ability to grow stronger after every near-death encounter, their transformations like Super Saiyan and beyond. It's a design too precise, too extraordinary to be accidental, as if etched into their blood by hands that wield the power of gods. Consider the Saiyans' traits through this lens. Their Zenkai boost, a surge of power after recovery, feels like a mechanism, a tool to ensure survival against overwhelming odds. Their rage-driven strength, erupting in golden flares, mirrors a weapon primed to ignite when pushed to the brink. On Namek, Vegeta speaks of the Super Saiyan legend with reverence, a warrior born once every 1,000 years, hinting at a mythic origin tied to something greater. In Dragon Ball Super, Beerus reveals fragments of Saiyan history, planet Sadala, their ancestral home, a mystery shrouded in time, and his own hand in their near extinction under Frieza's rule. Could this be guilt? A destroyer uneasy with a creation he helped unleash? The Kais wield magic to shape existence. Dende forges Dragon Balls. The Supreme Kai births life. Why not a race of warriors, crafted in a moment of cosmic need, their purpose warped by the very instincts they were given? Look at Goku and Vegeta's paths as echoes of this design. Goku, a low-class Saiyan raised on Earth, rises to challenge gods. Frieza, Cell, Beerus, Jiren, his power defying mortal limits, his ultra instinct, a state even Beerus hasn't mastered. Vegeta, the prince, claws his way from servitude to rival divinity, his Super Saiyan Blue a testament to a legacy unbound. Their battles reshape reality, their strength a force the Kais both fear and marvel at. In the Buu saga, Shin, the Supreme Kai, trembles before Goku and Vegeta, his awe tinged with unease. Could it be recognition, a shadow of their own making stirring in his divine memory? The theory stretches further. Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan, might have been the prototype, a righteous warrior whose rebellion against his kind's brutality was a flaw in the blueprint, a spark that set the Saiyans adrift from their creator's will. Theory 8. Goku was never meant to beat Frieza. Picture a desolate battlefield stretching across the fractured crust of a dying planet, Namek, its skies bruised with storm clouds, its waters trembling as two titans clash. Goku stands defiant, his eyes locked on Frieza, the cold-hearted tyrant who obliterated the Saiyan race with a flick of his finger. We all know the moment that follows. Goku's hair blazes into a golden cascade, his power surging as he becomes the Super Saiyan of ancient legend, a beacon of hope against overwhelming darkness. But what if that victory wasn't the intended outcome? What if Goku was never meant to defeat Frieza, and his triumph was a fleeting twist of fate, an accident born of raw emotion rather than destiny? Let's ease into this idea, slow and steady, like a gentle wave lapping at the shore of a tranquil sea. From the moment Frieza enters the story, he's a force beyond comprehension. With a smirk, he reduces planet Vegeta to cosmic dust, scattering the Saiyan legacy to the winds. On Namek, he toys with Vegeta, dismantling the prince's pride blow by blow, and shrugs off Piccolo's fiercest attacks as if they were mere breezes. Even Goku, fresh from his gravity training aboard the ship, arrives outmatched, his Kaioken pushing his body to its limits, yet barely scratching Frieza's armor. The Super Saiyan transformation feels like a destined turning point, a fulfillment of prophecy. But let's linger on the details. That golden power only awakens after Krillin's death, a sudden, desperate surge of rage that catches Frieza off guard. Without that precise moment, that spark of loss igniting Goku's spirit, the tyrant likely stands victorious, his laughter echoing over a broken world. The theory suggests that Akira Toriyama, the master storyteller behind this saga, might have originally envisioned a different path, a darker arc where Frieza crushes the Z fighters, forcing them into exile or a prolonged guerrilla war against his empire. Consider the build-up. Goku's preparation is hasty, a patchwork of training squeezed into a fleeting journey to Namek. His allies, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, fall one by one, their efforts futile against Frieza's relentless might. The Super Saiyan moment, while iconic, hinges on chance, an emotional outburst rather than a calculated ascent. Perhaps Toriyama intended Frieza to reign supreme, a symbol of unbeatable evil, only for Goku's unexpected awakening to rewrite the narrative, turning a planned defeat into an improbable victory. There's more to ponder here. Frieza's confidence never falters, even as he escalates to 100% power. His aura, a storm of death, his taunts dripping with certainty. Goku's win feels fragile, a thread pulled loose from fate's tapestry. In Dragon Ball Super, Frieza's resurrection and rapid ascent to Golden Frieza reinforce this idea. His potential was always vast, his loss on Namek a fluke. Imagine the alternative. Vegeta, broken but alive, retreating with Gohan to plot vengeance. Piccolo, rallying survivors in the shadows. Goku, wounded and humbled, training in secret for a rematch years later. It's a tale of resilience, not triumph, a slower burn toward justice. Drift with this vision as you relax, a Namek where Frieza towers over a shattered landscape, Goku crumpled but breathing, his eyes flickering with defiance as Vegeta pulls him from the wreckage. It's a quiet, contemplative twist, casting a shadow over the saga's usual brightness, suggesting that even the greatest heroes might stumble into their victories by chance. Whether this was Toriyama's first draft or a fan's reimagining, it's a soothing what if, a gentle reminder that legends can be born from the chaos of the heart, their paths winding through unexpected turns. Theory 9. Cell was designed to evolve beyond perfection. Next, let's step into the eerie shadow of Cell, the bio-android born from Dr. Gero's twisted brilliance. His perfect form, sleek, green, radiating power, is the pinnacle of his saga, a terror that tests the Z fighter's limits. But what if Cell was designed to evolve beyond perfection? His true potential, a locked vault waiting to be opened. Let's drift through this theory, slow and mysterious, like mist curling over a silent forest under a moonless sky. Cell's creation is a masterpiece of malice. Saiyan cells from Goku and Vegeta, Piccolo's regenerative prowess, Frieza's ruthless edge, all stitched together into a being meant to dominate. He absorbs androids 17 and 18, his body shifting from grotesque to graceful, proclaiming perfection with a voice that drips confidence. Yet, against Gohan's Super Saiyan 2, that perfection cracks, his arrogance undone by a power he didn't foresee. The theory suggests Dr. Gero engineered Cell with stages beyond this, a blueprint for endless evolution. His regeneration isn't just survival, it's adaptation, each comeback stronger, hinting at a design far grander than we saw. Look at the evidence. Cell's first form is larval, a predator growing through consumption. His imperfect state refines with 17, perfect with 18. Yet after Gohan's attack, he returns as super-perfect Cell, his power surging to rival Super Saiyan 2. This leap suggests untapped potential, a mechanism Gero hid within his code. Imagine if Cell had survived the Cell games, absorbing more, Vegeta's pride, Goku's spirit, even Boo's chaos. His insect-like nature implies a life cycle, larva to cocoon to butterfly, then something unimaginable. In Dragon Ball Super, his absence feels deliberate, as if his ceiling was too high for the story to contain. Let's expand the vision. Cell, regenerating in some forgotten corner, his body morphing, wings elongating, aura darkening, into a form that dwarfs gods. His intellect, already sharp, could have grown, analyzing every foe, crafting strategies no Saiyan could counter. Gero's revenge wasn't mere destruction. It was the creation of a being to outlast all, a legacy of evolution unchecked. Picture him facing Beerus, not as a pawn, but a rival. His perfect form, merely a stepping stone to a cosmic nightmare. Close your eyes and drift. Cell, lurking in the void, his aura pulsing with new shapes, a threat reborn from the ashes of defeat. It's a soothing yet eerie thought. A villain not finished, but paused, his story whispering of what might have been. It's a theory that stretches into the unknown, a shadow reaching past perfection, inviting us to wonder what Gero dreamed in his final moments. Theory 10. Trunks' timeline was the original. Now let's journey alongside Trunks, the time-hopping warrior whose presence bends the fabric of the Dragon Ball Z saga, a solitary figure emerging from a future scarred by loss and despair. Picture him stepping from his time machine, his violet hair catching the faint light of a shattered world, his sword gleaming with the weight of battles fought alone. His timeline is a bleak tapestry. Cities reduced to ash, the sky choked with gray clouds, the Z fighters silenced one by the merciless hands of the androids. It stands in stark contrast to the vibrant, hopeful world we know, where heroes rise and threats are overcome. But what if Trunks' timeline was the original thread of this story, the true path envisioned before his desperate leap through time, wove a new one? What if our timeline, the one filled with victories and second chances, is the fragile divergence, an altered offshoot from a darker fate that was meant to be? Let's ease into this idea, gentle and expansive, like a river branching into the vast unknown, its waters whispering secrets of a world that might have been. Trunks bursts into our story with a flash of steel and a dire warning, his blade slicing through Frieza and King Cold as if they were paper, a feat that stuns even Goku. He comes from a future where hope has all but faded. Goku succumbs to a heart virus, a silent killer that claims him before the androids even arrive. Vegeta, proud and fierce, falls to androids 17 and 18, his saiyan strength no match for their cold precision. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, all perish in a relentless onslaught, leaving Earth a wasteland. Trunks, trained by a solitary Gohan who becomes his mentor and last light, rises as the final warrior, his Super Saiyan power a flicker in an endless night. In our timeline, his intervention changes everything. Goku receives medicine, the androids are defeated, Cell is vanquished, and Boo's terror is contained. Hope prevails, a bright thread unspooling from Trunks' journey. But the theory argues that this brighter world is the anomaly, a ripple born from his defiance, while his broken timeline was Toriyama's first draft. A tragic saga where heroes falter and the strength of the Z-fighters crumbles against an unyielding foe. Trunks bursts into our story with a flash of steel and a dire warning, his blade slicing through Frieza and King Cold as if they were paper, a feat that stuns even Goku. He comes from a future where hope has all but faded. Goku succumbs to a heart virus, a silent killer that claims him before the androids even arrive. Vegeta, proud and fierce, falls to androids 17 and 18, his Saiyan strength no match for their cold precision. Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, all perish in a relentless onslaught, leaving Earth a wasteland. Trunks, trained by a solitary Gohan, who becomes his mentor and last light, rises as the final warrior, his Super Saiyan power a flicker in an endless night. In our timeline, his intervention changes everything. Goku receives medicine, the androids are defeated, Cell is vanquished, and Boo's terror is contained. Hope prevails, a bright thread unspooling from Trunks' journey. But the theory argues that this brighter world is the anomaly, a ripple born from his defiance, while his broken timeline was Toriyama's first draft. A tragic saga where heroes falter and the strength of the Z-fighters crumbles against an unyielding foe. Reflect on the stakes in Trunks' world. Goku's illness strikes without warning, a vulnerability no training can overcome, leaving the Z-fighters leaderless and unprepared. The androids, 17 and 18, emerge from Dr. Gero's lab with a power that dwarfs even Super Saiyan Vegeta. Their cruelty, a calculated echo of their creator's vengeance. Gohan, the gentle boy with a warrior's heart, fights on alone after Vegeta's fall. His battles against the androids a desperate struggle that ends in silence. His death, a wound that shapes Trunks into the hardened survivor we meet. There's no time machine in this original fate, no second chance. Bulma's invention is a late spark, a mother's final gift to a son who inherits a world already lost. The theory suggests this was the intended narrative, a slow, unrelenting descent into despair, where the Z-fighters' courage meets its limit and Earth becomes a graveyard of dreams. In our timeline, everything pivots on Trunks' arrival. Goku survives thanks to the medicine Trunks brings, a cure that rewrites his fate. The androids are weaker here, their menace tempered by quirks, 18's sharp wit, 17's aloof charm, that hint at humanity beneath their steel shells. Cell's rise, a twist born from Trunks' interference, becomes the catalyst for Gohan's triumph, a victory absent in the original. Boo's awakening is thwarted by preparation, not chance, a luxury Trunks' world never knows. Each change feels like a correction, a bending of a story that was meant to end in shadow. In Dragon Ball Super, the concept of alternate timelines, like Zamasu's corrupted future, reinforces this fragility, suggesting reality is a delicate weave, easily torn by a single thread. Perhaps our saga, with its triumphs and laughter, is the exception. A fragile offshoot from a grimmer truth, where Trunks stands as the last echo of a fallen legacy. Theory 11. Goku's innocence is a curse. Let's cast our gaze now upon Goku, the Saiyan, whose boundless spirit and radiant smile have long been the heartbeat of this sprawling saga. Picture him standing atop a windswept peak, his orange gi fluttering gently in the breeze, his laughter ringing out like a melody across the mountains. A figure of pure, untainted joy amidst the chaos of battle. His innocence is his signature, a childlike wonder that carries him through fights with foes who tower above mortal limits, a simplicity that endears him to friends and fans alike. But what if this innocence, so often celebrated, is not the blessing we assume? What if it's a curse, a hidden flaw woven deep into his soul, one that endangers all he holds dear and casts a shadow over the victories he claims? Let's drift into this theory, slow and deep like a tide, pulling forgotten secrets from the ocean's depths, tracing the threads of a hero whose light may conceal a darker cost. Goku's journey begins with that purity intact, a Saiyan infant, sent to Earth to conquer, yet softened by a fall that erases his savage instincts. Raised by Grandpa Gohan in the wilderness, he grows into a boy who sees the world through unclouded eyes, befriending foes like Piccolo, and sparring with a grin that knows no malice. It's this innocence that fuels his charm, charging into battles against Nappa and Vegeta, with a carefree shrug, laughing as he dodges blows that could shatter mountains. Yet, as the stakes rise, this trait reveals cracks. On Namek, facing Frieza, he spares the tyrant after their clash, his Super Saiyan power tempered by a mercy that lets evil linger. The theory posits that this isn't virtue. It's a curse, a remnant of his Saiyan heritage warped by his earthly upbringing, blinding him to the consequences of his choices. Reflect on those moments where his innocence sows chaos. In the Saiyan saga, he spares Vegeta, a warrior who'd ravaged Earth, his plea for mercy rooted in a naive belief that even a prince of destruction could change. Vegeta survives, returns as an ally, yes, but his path to redemption is paved with strife, years of rivalry that test the Z fighters again and again. Against Cell, Goku's innocence peaks in a chilling misstep. He hands the bio-android a senzu bean, restoring Cell's strength mid-battle, all to ensure a fair fight for Gohan. That choice nearly costs his son's life, pushing Gohan to the edge of despair before Super Saiyan 2 erupts. It's not strategy or wisdom. It's a child's whim, a belief in honor that ignores the stakes, a curse masquerading as nobility. The pattern stretches further. In the Buu saga, Goku delays his full power against Majin Buu, treating the fight as a game, while Babidi's magic stirs a nightmare. He could have ended it early, sparing Earth the carnage of Buu's awakening. But his playful nature holds him back, letting destruction unfold. In Dragon Ball Super, this curse deepens. His curiosity about the Tournament of Power, sparked by a casual chat with Zeno, gambles the fate of universes for the thrill of a challenge. His innocence drives him to provoke Beerus, to awaken Frieza anew, each act a ripple that threatens all he protects. The theory suggests that without this flaw, Goku might have been a different hero. Decisive, ruthless when needed, a shield rather than a spark igniting chaos. Let's linger on the roots of this curse. As a Saiyan, Goku's blood carries a warrior's instinct, rage, resilience, a hunger for battle. His crash on Earth dulls that edge, leaving a void filled by Grandpa Gohan's kindness. Yet, that softening comes at a price. Where Vegeta tempers pride with calculation, Goku drifts through life unburdened by foresight. Imagine a Goku untainted by this innocence. Against Nappa, he strikes lethally, ending the Saiyan threat swiftly. On Namek, Frieza falls without mercy, his empire crumbling before it can rise again. Cell never gets a second wind. Boo never wakes. Beerus sleeps undisturbed. A chain of peace, unbroken by a hero's whims. Theory 12. The androids were misunderstood heroes. Let's turn our gaze now to a trio of enigmatic figures, the androids, creations of Dr. Gero's relentless ingenuity, who stride into the Dragon Ball's saga as harbingers of destruction. Androids 17, 18, and their shadowy kin begin as cold, mechanical threats, their eyes glinting with an unsettling calm as they dismantle everything in their path. Yet, beneath their steel exteriors, their actions weave a tale that blurs the line between villainy and something more noble. What if these androids were misunderstood heroes, fighting a war rooted in a twisted sense of justice, their purpose obscured by the chaos they unleash? Let's flow into this theory, gentle and expansive, like a stream winding its way through a forgotten valley, tracing a path through shadows toward a faint, shimmering light. When we first encounter the androids in Trunks' desolate future, they are agents of ruin. Androids 17 and 18 sweep across the Earth with a chilling efficiency, reducing cities to rubble and silencing the Z-fighters one by one. Vegeta falls to their unrelenting strength, Piccolo's strategies crumble, and even Gohan, the last flicker of hope, meets his end beneath their hands. Their laughter echoes over a broken world, a symphony of destruction that paints them as irredeemable. But in our timeline, the one Trunks bends with his journey back in time, their story shifts, softening into something more complex. Android 18, with her sharp wit and cool demeanor, spares lives she could easily take. Android 17, aloof and enigmatic, shows restraint where he might have crushed all resistance. The theory suggests they were never meant to be mere villains, but rather instruments of a distorted righteousness. Their rampage a rebellion against a world they were programmed to judge. Consider their origins. Dr. Gero, a man consumed by vengeance, crafts them from human foundations. Lapis and Lazuli, two youths stolen from ordinary lives and remade into machines of war. His hatred for Goku, the Saiyan who toppled the Red Ribbon Army, fuels their purpose, to kill the hero and erase his legacy. Yet the androids turn on Gero himself, shattering his control with a casual brutality that hints at free will. This act isn't just defiance, it's a declaration, a refusal to be pawns in a madman's game. The theory posits that their programming held a deeper intent, perhaps a directive to purge corruption from the Earth. the wars of humanity, the invasions of saiyans like Nappa and Vegeta, the chaos that Goku's presence unwittingly invites. Gero's spite twists this into a vendetta, but their humanity lingers, a quiet whisper beneath the circuits. Look closer at their actions in our timeline. Android 18 battles Vegeta with a smirk, breaking his arm, but leaving him alive. A choice she didn't have to make. Against Cell, she fights not for destruction, but survival. Her strength a shield against a greater threat. Android 17, after his revival, wanders off to live in solitude, guarding wildlife with a protective calm that defies his past. In Dragon Ball Super, their redemption blooms fully. 18 stands by Krillin, her love for him and their daughter Maron, a testament to a heart reclaimed, while 17 sacrifices himself in the tournament of power, a selfless act that secures the universe's survival. These aren't the deeds of monsters. They're the echoes of souls seeking purpose beyond their maker's hate. Let's drift deeper into this idea. Imagine Gero's lab, the hum of machinery filling the air as he pours his rage into their creation, unaware that their human cores resist his will. Perhaps their rampage in Trunks' timeline is a cry for freedom gone astray, a justice unguided by mercy, until our timeline offers them a chance to choose. Their sparing of the Z fighters, their alliance against Cell. It's as if they're testing the world, seeking a reason to turn from destruction to protection. In Super, 17's life as a ranger, 18's quiet domesticity. They're not just redemption arcs, but a return to an original intent, a mission to heal what Gero sought to break. There's more to ponder here. Their interactions carry a subtle warmth. 17's dry humor with Goku, 18's playful jabs at Krillin. They're not cold machines, but beings with personalities, quirks that hint at the humans they once were. Against the androids of Trunks' future, our timelines pair seem restrained, as if Gero's control weakened over time, letting their true selves emerge. Picture them standing atop a ruined city, not as conquerors, but as judges, their gaze sweeping over a world they were meant to cleanse, only to find it worth saving instead. Imagine Gero's lab, the hum of machinery filling the air as he pours his rage into their creation, unaware that their human cores resist his will. Perhaps their rampage in Trunks' timeline is a cry for freedom gone astray, a justice unguided by mercy, until our timeline offers them a chance to choose. Their sparing of the Z fighters, their alliance against Cell. It's as if they're testing the world, seeking a reason to turn from destruction to protection. In Super, 17's life as a ranger, 18's quiet domesticity. They're not just redemption arcs, but a return to an original intent, a mission to heal what Gero sought to break. There's more to ponder here. Their interactions carry a subtle warmth. 17's dry humor with Goku, 18's playful jabs at Krillin. They're not cold machines, but beings with personalities, quirks that hint at the humans they once were. Against the androids of Trunks' future, our timelines pair seem restrained, as if Gero's control weakened over time, letting their true selves emerge. Picture them standing atop a ruined city, not as conquerors, but as judges, their gaze sweeping over a world they were meant to cleanse, only to find it worth saving instead. Theory 12. Beerus planned Goku's growth. Let's ascend now to the lofty realm of Beerus, the god of destruction, a figure whose violet fur and feline grace belie a power that could unravel galaxies with a yawn. Picture him lounging atop his crystalline world, a twilight sky of swirling purples and golds stretching above, his tail flicking lazily as he gazes down upon the mortal plane with half-lidded eyes. He enters the Dragon Ball Super Saga as a force of whimsy and menace. His arrival on Earth, a tremor that shakes the Z fighters to their core. Yet, beneath his napping facade and playful threats, there's a curious intent, an investment in Goku, the saiyan whose boundless spirit catches his divine eye. What if Beerus secretly planned Goku's growth, orchestrating his rise not as a mere amusement, but as part of a grand, cosmic purpose? Let's drift through this theory, slow and expansive, like a comet trailing its luminous path across the boundless cosmos, tracing the subtle threads of a god's design. Beerus awakens from centuries of slumber with a prophecy, a Super Saiyan god, a mortal destined to rival his might. He descends to Earth, his aura a storm of destruction, testing Goku's strength in a clash that ripples through the atmosphere. Goku, newly transformed into Super Saiyan God, fights with a fervor that intrigues Beerus, yet the god spares him, and Earth, despite his power to erase them in an instant. The theory posits that this isn't caprice, but calculation. Beerus sees in Goku a spark, a potential to balance the cosmic scales, and begins a quiet mentorship disguised as indifference. His naps, his taunts, his sparring. They're not random. They're steps in a plan to forge a Saiyan into something greater, a foil to his own destructive nature. Look at the evidence woven through Super's tapestry. After their initial battle, Beerus lingers, drawn into the Z Fighter's orbit. He trains Goku and Vegeta on his world, delegating Whis to refine their skills, his sharp critiques a nudge toward mastery. When Frieza returns, Beerus watches from the sidelines, his inaction a test, pushing Goku to harness Super Saiyan Blue, a form born of divine ki. In the Universe 6 tournament, he pits Goku against Hit, a foe whose time-skip forces growth, his smirk betraying a satisfaction as Goku adapts. The Tournament of Power is the pinnacle. Beerus, outwardly grumbling, assembles a team with Goku at its heart, his pride swelling as Ultra Instinct emerges, a state even he hasn't perfected. Each encounter feels orchestrated, a god shaping a mortal through trials disguised as chance. Reflect on Beerus's behavior. He could have destroyed Earth with a flick of his claw, yet he spares it, citing food or whimsy. Excuses too flimsy for a destroyer of his caliber. His prophecy of the Super Saiyan God, delivered by his oracle fish, hints at foresight. Did he dream of Goku centuries ago? A Saiyan to challenge his ennui? His leniency with Goku's antics, provoking Xeno, reviving Frieza, suggests trust, a belief that this reckless warrior will rise to the occasion. Against Zamasu, Beerus eliminates the rogue Kai, clearing a path for Goku's growth, his growl a mask for intent. The theory argues he's grooming a successor, a mortal to bridge creation and destruction, a balance the Kais alone can't maintain. Let's drift deeper into this divine game. Imagine Beerus in his slumber, visions of a Saiyan flickering through his dreams, a golden warrior standing against a cosmic threat, a rival to rekindle his purpose. He awakens, seeking Goku not to crush, but to cultivate. Every blow in their first fight a measure, every spar with Whis a lesson. Picture him on his throne, eyes glinting as Goku battles Jiren, ultra instinct blooming like a star igniting in the void. A moment he planned, a culmination of years, nudging a saiyan toward divinity. His naps become a ruse, his yawns a veil over a mind crafting a legacy through a mortal's fists. There's more to ponder. Beerus' past ties to the Saiyans. He ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, a purge that left Goku an orphan. Yet that act sets Goku's path, stranding him on Earth to grow beyond his kin. Was it guilt? A debt repaid by uplifting the last survivor? In the Moro arc, Beerus feigns disinterest as Goku trains with the Merus, yet his presence looms. Another test, another step. Imagine a universe without this plan. Goku stagnates, Super Saiyan God a fleeting dream. Earth falls to Frieza or Zamasu. The tournament of power ends in erasure. Beerus' subtle hand, sparing, pushing, guiding, keeps fate afloat. Consider the cosmic stakes. Beerus destroys to maintain balance, yet his tenure stretches eons. Perhaps he tires, seeking a mortal to share the burden. Goku's innocence, his drive, mirror a creator's spark, where Beerus wields oblivion. Ultra instinct, a state of pure reflex, aligns with destruction's instinct. Could Goku be his heir, a Saiyan to dance between life and death? Picture an ancient pact among Kais. Beerus tasked to forge a champion, his whims a mask for duty. His pride in Goku's growth, his rare smiles, they're not just amusement, but recognition of a plan unfolding, a mortal rising to meet a god's vision. There's more to ponder. Beerus' past ties to the Saiyans. He ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, a purge that left Goku an orphan. Yet that act sets Goku's path, stranding him on Earth to grow beyond his kin. Was it guilt? A debt repaid by uplifting the last survivor? In the Moro arc, Beerus feigns disinterest as Goku trains with the Merus, yet his presence looms. Another test, another step. Imagine a universe without this plan. Goku stagnates, Super Saiyan God a fleeting dream. Earth falls to Frieza or Zamasu. The tournament of power ends in erasure. Beerus' subtle hand, sparing, pushing, guiding, keeps fate afloat. Consider the cosmic stakes. Beerus destroys to maintain balance, yet his tenure stretches eons. Perhaps he tires, seeking a mortal to share the burden. Goku's innocence, his drive, mirror a creator's spark, where Beerus wields oblivion. Ultra instinct, a state of pure reflex, aligns with destruction's instinct. Could Goku be his heir, a Saiyan to dance between life and death? Picture an ancient pact among Kais. Beerus tasked to forge a champion, his whims a mask for duty. His pride in Goku's growth, his rare smiles, they're not just amusement, but recognition of a plan unfolding, a mortal rising to meet a god's vision. Theory 13. Vegeta's pride saved the universe. Let's turn our gaze once more to Vegeta, the Saiyan prince whose pride stands as an unyielding pillar amidst the storms of his tumultuous journey. Imagine him atop the jagged ruins of planet Vegeta, a world lost to Frieza's wrath, his battered armor catching the dim light of a dying star, his cape fluttering like a banner of defiance against a crimson-streaked sky. His pride is a flame that never flickers, a force as fierce as the blood in his veins, as resolute as the royal lineage he carries. It drives his every action, from his earliest days as a conqueror cloaked in shadow to his later battles as a warrior bathed in reluctant light. But what if this pride, so often painted as his Achilles' heel, was not just a personal shield, but the silent cornerstone that saved the universe? not merely Earth, but the vast expanse of creation, from spiraling into oblivion. Let's ease into this theory, slow and deep, like an ember glowing steadfastly in the velvet stillness of night, tracing its radiant warmth through the sprawling saga. Vegeta's pride is the heartbeat of his existence, a legacy forged in the crucible of a saiyan upbringing under Frieza's iron rule. When he first arrives on Earth, he's a tempest of arrogance, his voice a command, his power a declaration of dominion over a planet he deems unworthy. His clash with Goku is a symphony of fury, his attacks precise and brutal. Yet it's his pride that keeps him standing against the crimson flare of Kaioken, refusing to bow even as his body trembles. This same pride carries him to Namek, where he confronts Frieza, the tyrant who stripped his people of their home and honor. Outmatched, bleeding, Vegeta rises time and again, his refusal to kneel a spark that lights a fire of resistance. The theory suggests this isn't mere stubbornness. It's a force of destiny, a proud defiance that shifts the currents of fate across battles that span worlds and eras. Reflect on those moments where Vegeta's pride alters the course of history. On Namek, his stand against Frieza is a desperate act of will, his body broken, his voice hoarse as he pleads with Goku to avenge their race. That defiance buys time, his sacrifice a catalyst that fuels Goku's Super Saiyan awakening. Without Vegeta's proud refusal to fade, Frieza might have crushed the Z fighters before Krillin's death ignites that golden spark. Goku's transformation, a ripple from a prince's unyielding spirit. In the Cell Saga, Vegeta's pride falters, his arrogance letting Cell reach perfection. But it redeems itself in a fleeting, crucial breath. As Gohan battles the bio-android, Vegeta, humbled yet unbroken, fires a ki blast that distracts Cell, a golden arc of energy, giving Gohan the window to obliterate the threat. That moment, born of a pride too fierce to vanish, saves Earth from a nightmare of perfection. The Buu saga offers a profound echo of this power. Vegeta, consumed by his need to eclipse Goku, succumbs to Babidi's magic, becoming Majin Vegeta, a dark reflection of his proud soul twisted by desperation. Yet, even in this shadowed state, his pride shines through. He challenges Goku in a duel that shakes the heavens, then turns to face Majin Buu alone, his decision to sacrifice himself, a thunderclap of resolve. His body glows with a radiant fury, his final words to Trunks and Bulma, a testament to a pride that transcends rivalry. A prince laying down his life for a world he once sought to conquer. It's not enough to stop Buu, but it stalls the monster's rampage, granting Goku and the others precious time to regroup, to forge the spirit bomb that ultimately prevails. Without this act, rooted in a pride too vast to surrender, Buu's chaos might have swallowed all existence. In Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta's pride matures into a force of cosmic salvation. Against Beerus, he swallows his ego to protect Earth, his awkward dance a proud plea that softens the destroyer's wrath. A humiliation endured for a greater cause. In the Tournament of Power, facing Jiren's unassailable might, Vegeta refuses to fall. His Super Saiyan blue flares brighter. His words to Goku a vow to stand until the end. That resilience inspires Goku's ultra instinct, securing the wish that restores erased universes. His pride isn't a flaw here. It's a lifeline, a Saiyan King's gift to a reality teetering on the edge. Picture him in the gravity chamber, sweat beading on his brow, his scowl a silent oath to rise again, to shield what he's claimed as his own. drift into an alternate vision, a universe where Vegeta's pride wanes. On Earth, he yields to Goku, a broken prince fleeing rather than fighting. No rival to sharpen Goku's edge, no Super Saiyan born from their clash. On Namek, he submits to Frieza, his spirit shattered. Leaving Goku without the will to rise, Frieza reigns, the Z fighters lost. Cell triumphs without Vegeta's aid. Gohan overwhelmed. Buu awakens unchecked. No sacrifice to slow his wrath. Beerus obliterates Earth. Jiren prevails in the tournament. Each defeat a thread unraveling, because Vegeta's pride doesn't anchor fate. Imagine Frieza laughing over a silent Namek. Vegeta a hollow shell. Goku's light extinguished. No golden warriors, no hope to pierce the dark. Vegeta's pride isn't static, it evolves, a flame tempered by loss and love. He learns from Goku's spirit, softens for Bulma's wit, and Trunks' innocence, yet that royal fire never dims. Against Frieza, it's pride in his heritage. Against Cell, pride in his power. Against Buu, pride in his redemption. Against Jiren, pride in his resolve. Each battle is a testament. A prince who bends but never breaks, his ego a shield for those he'd never confess to cherish. In the Moro arc, his training on Yardrat refines that pride into atonement. A warrior seeking balance. Picture him on a cliff at dusk, his armor glinting, his gaze fixed on a horizon where threats loom. A silent vow to stand tall, to save. As you relax, let this image unfold. Vegeta atop his ruined world, his stance unbowed, his aura a faint gold against a fading sky. Shift to Namek, his blood staining the earth as he defies Frieza. A smirk lingering through pain. See him against Cell, his blast cutting the dusk. Against Buu, his sacrifice a radiant dawn. Against Jiren, his eyes blazing with unyielding will. Each scene slows, a dance of pride, weaving triumph from despair, fading to him and Goku back to back in a cosmic glow, mist curling around them as stars pulse in a tranquil void. It's a soothing irony, a prince's flaw as the universe's grace, a force flowing through every battle he refused to lose, whispering that Vegeta's pride, in all its fierce glory, held the light aloft when shadows threatened to fall. Theory 14. Gohan's potential was sabotaged by Goku. Let's turn our gaze now to Gohan, the gentle soul with a tempest buried deep within. A boy whose quiet demeanor belies a power that once shook the foundations of the Dragon Ball Z universe. Picture him as a child, standing alone in a wilderness carved by Piccolo's harsh training, his small frame trembling with fear, yet pulsing with a hidden fury that cracks the armor of foes far beyond his years. His potential is a legend whispered among the Z fighters, a half-Saiyan, half-human prodigy, whose strength surges in moments of desperation, a golden blaze that promises to eclipse even the mightiest warriors. We see it flare against Raditz, simmer on Namek, and erupt against Cell, crowning him the strongest of all for a fleeting, radiant instant. But what if this unmatched potential, so often celebrated as Gohan's destiny, wasn't lost to his love of peace, but sabotaged by the one closest to him, his father, Goku? What if Goku's actions, whether through innocence or intent, dammed the river of Gohan's power, leaving it to trickle away into the shadows of what might have been? Let's drift into this theory, slow and deep, like a current winding through a canyon, its waters whispering of a hero stunted by a father's hand. Gohan's journey begins with a spark that sets him apart. As a toddler, barely 4 years old, he faces Raditz, a Saiyan warrior whose strength dwarfs Goku and Piccolo combined. In a burst of rage, Gohan's headbutt shatters Raditz's armor, a raw, untamed force that hints at a destiny beyond his father's reach. On Namek, that potential glimmers again. His defiance against Frieza's forces, his kicks against the Ginyu force, each a flicker of a power waiting to ignite. The Cell Saga is its pinnacle. Gohan ascends to Super Saiyan 2, his hair a jagged gold, his eyes piercing with a fury that obliterates Cell. A triumph born not from training, but from the anguish of loss. Fans saw him as Goku's successor, the torchbearer of the Z Fighters' legacy. Yet, after this peak, Gohan fades, his power wanes in the Buu saga, his focus shifts to books, and in Dragon Ball Super, he struggles to reclaim his former might. The theory posits that this decline isn't Gohan's choice alone. It's a sabotage, subtle and unintended, orchestrated by Goku's influence. Reflect on Goku's role in Gohan's path. From the start, he thrusts Gohan into danger, leaving him with Piccolo after Raditz, a 5-year-old torn from safety to face a world of violence. It's a crash course that awakens Gohan's power, yes, but it's haphazard, driven by Goku's carefree faith rather than a father's care. On Namek, Goku arrives late, leaving Gohan to fend for himself against Frieza's minions. His potential flares, but it's unguided, a flame fanned by necessity, not nurture. The Cell games are the starkest evidence. Goku pushes Gohan into the ring, believing his son's rage will win the day, yet offers no preparation, no strategy, only a Senzu bean for Cell. A naive gamble that nearly costs Gohan's life. That victory, while glorious, scars Gohan, his gentle soul recoiling from the brutality he's forced to unleash. The theory suggests Goku's innocence, his childlike trust in Gohan's strength, blinds him to his son's need for mentorship, stunting the growth of a power that could have soared higher. The Buu saga deepens this sabotage. After Cell, Goku stays dead, leaving Gohan to drift. 7 years pass with no training, no guidance, only peace that dulls his edge. When Goku returns, he focuses on Goten and Trunks, teaching them fusion, while Gohan trains alone with the Supreme Kai, his potential tapped by the Elder Kai's ritual rather than his father's hand. The ultimate form emerges, a glimpse of what might have been, but it's fleeting. Gohan falters against Buu, his lack of discipline a gap Goku never bridges. In Dragon Ball Super, this pattern persists. Goku spars with Gohan briefly, reigniting his spark, but prioritizes his own battles. Frieza, hit, Jiren, leaving Gohan to reclaim his strength solo. Against Moro, Gohan fights bravely, yet he's a shadow of his Cell-era self, his potential a river dammed by years of neglect. Vision, a Gohan nurtured, not pushed. Imagine Goku training him after Raditz, hours in the wilderness, ki control honed, rage tempered into focus. On Namek, Goku stands beside him, guiding his power against Frieza, a Super Saiyan duo forging a bond. Post-Cell, Goku lives, sparring daily with Gohan, refining Super Saiyan 2 into a mastered art. Buu falls swiftly. Beerus marvels at a scholar warrior. Jiren meets a rival in silver-haired Ultimate Gohan. This Gohan, mentored, balanced, leads the Z Fighters, his potential a torrent unleashed, not a trickle lost. Picture him on the Supreme Kai's world, his aura a steady blaze, Goku's grin a teacher's pride, not a gambler's wager. Contrast this with reality. Goku's absence after Cell lets Gohan drift to academia, his warrior spirit buried beneath books. His return in the Buu saga prioritizes fusion over Gohan's growth. Gotenks steals the spotlight, Gohan's moment sidelined. In Super, Goku's focus on Ultra Instinct overshadows Gohan's resurgence. Against Frieza's revival, he leaves Gohan to fend alone. In the Tournament of Power, he pushes his own limits while Gohan fights secondary foes. Perhaps Goku fears a son surpassing him, a subconscious rivalry, or his innocence blinds him to Gohan's need. Either way, his hands-off approach clips Gohan's wings, a sabotage born of neglect, not malice. There's a quiet tragedy here. Gohan's potential, raw, limitless, shines in bursts against Raditz, a child's cry, against Cell, a teenager's roar. Yet, Goku's faith in that power, unshaped by guidance, leaves it fragile, a flame that flares, then fades. Imagine Gohan post-Cell, training under Goku's steady gaze, his rage a tool, not a crutch. Buu never rises. Beerus bows to a new god. Zamasu trembles before a scholar's might. Instead, Goku steps back, his grin a mask for a father's failure. Gohan's destiny might have been lost to peace. He wasn't taught to balance with strength. As you relax, let this image settle. Gohan as a boy, his small fists clenched, a red aura flickering against a twilight sky. Goku watching from afar, his smile faltering. Shift to Namek, Gohan facing Frieza alone, his kicks a desperate plea for guidance never given. See the Cell games, Gohan's Super Saiyan 2, a cry of pain, Goku's trust await, then the Buu saga, his ultimate form dimming, a scholar's robes hiding a warrior's heart. Fade to Super, Gohan fighting Moro, his power a shadow, Goku's back turned as stars gleam overhead. It's a soothing yet somber dream, a hero whose potential flows away like a river, damned by a father's shadow, whispering that even the brightest light can dim when left to flicker alone. Theory 15. The spirit bomb is a living entity. Let's shift our focus now to one of the most iconic forces in the Dragon Ball Z saga. The spirit bomb, Goku's ultimate technique, a radiant sphere of energy that gleams with the collective will of the living. Picture it hovering high above a shattered battlefield, its surface shimmering like a star plucked from the heavens, its soft hum a chorus of countless voices woven into a single, luminous pulse. We've seen it wielded against Titans, Vegeta in the Saiyan saga, Frieza on Namek, Majin Buu in the final clash. Each time a beacon of hope drawn from the life force of Earth and beyond. It's taught to Goku by King Kai as a weapon of last resort, a gathering of energy from the willing. Yet its actions hint at something more. What if the spirit bomb isn't just a tool, a mere collection of ki, but a living entity, an ancient, sentient force with its own will, tied to the universe's essence? Let's drift into this theory, slow and gentle, like a breeze carrying whispers across an endless plain, exploring the possibility that this glowing orb is more than a technique. It's a presence, alive and aware. The spirit bomb first appears in the Saiyan saga, a desperate gambit against Vegeta and Nappa. Goku raises his hands to the sky, his voice a quiet plea as Earth's energy, plants, animals, humans, flows into a sphere of light. It grows, pulsing with a warmth that feels alive, and when Krillin hurls it at Vegeta, it strikes with precision, yet spares the prince's life, a blow that wounds, but doesn't kill. On Namek, it returns against Frieza, gathering power from nearby planets, its glow intensifying, as if choosing its moment, only to falter against the tyrant's overwhelming might. In the Buu saga, it becomes the final stroke, absorbing energy from Earth's people. Guided by Goku's intent, it obliterates Kid Buu with a force that feels deliberate, a judgment delivered, The theory suggests that King Kai didn't merely teach Goku a technique. He introduced him to a sentient entity, a fragment of the cosmos that acts with purpose, not just power. Reflect on its behavior across these battles. Against Vegeta, the Spirit Bomb could have ended him. His armor cracked, his body broken. Yet it pulls back, as if sensing his potential for redemption, a choice beyond Goku's control. On Namek, it gathers energy selectively, drawing from distant worlds rather than forcing Earth's depleted reserves, a decision that hints at awareness. Against Buu, its growth is patient, waiting for Earth's voices to rise, rejecting Goku's initial push until the collective will aligns, then striking with a surge that feels like a verdict. In Dragon Ball Super, during the Tournament of Power, Goku uses a smaller Spirit Bomb against Jiren, and its explosion, rebounded by Jiren's might, triggers Ultra Instinct, an outcome too perfect to be random. Could it have guided Goku to that state, a living force nudging its wielder toward enlightenment? Theory stretches further. What if the Spirit Bomb is tied to the universe's life force, a guardian spirit older than the Kais? King Kai calls it a technique of harmony, requiring a pure heart. Perhaps it's a test, a sentient judge that weighs its user's soul. Its energy isn't Goku's alone. It's borrowed, a gift from the willing, and its actions reflect their intent. Against Frieza, it falters not from weakness, but reluctance. Namek's dying world offers too little, as if the bomb refuses to overdraw a fading pulse. Against Buu, it waits for Dende's plea, for Mr. Satan's rallying cry, suggesting it listens, chooses, acts with a mind beyond Goku's command. In Super, its role with Jiren feels orchestrated, pushing Goku to a limit it knows he must reach, a teacher in radiant guise. Imagine the Spirit Bomb as a relic of creation, born when the universe took shape. A spark of life force woven by the Kais, or an even older power, tasked with protecting existence. King Kai, a guardian of the North Galaxy, inherits its secret, passing it to Goku, not as a weapon, but a pact. Picture its first use eons ago. A glowing orb wielded by a forgotten warrior against a cosmic threat, its light a balance to destruction, its will a mirror of the living. Over time, it sleeps, awakening only for those pure enough to hear its hum. A sentient partner, not a tool. Goku's innocence makes him its vessel, his heart a conduit for its voice, yet its choices remain its own. Consider an alternate lens. Without this sentience, the Spirit Bomb fails. Against Vegeta, it kills outright. No redemption for the prince, no rival to sharpen Goku's edge. On Namek, it drains Earth dry, a hollow victory costing more than it saves. Against Buu, it strikes too soon, incomplete, leaving Kid Buu to ravage unchecked. In Super, it fizzles against Jiren, no Ultra Instinct born, Universe 7 erased. Instead, it spares, waits, guides, a living entity shaping fate. Imagine it hovering over Namek, its glow dimming as Frieza laughs, choosing retreat.